Well, I debated showing this because I don't typically work on trucks, but I had a good customer of mine call and say that his brand new truck, it's a 2024 Silverado 2500, was leaking brake fluid excessively. And I was passing by last night, so I stopped and take a look just to kind of see what was going on. And I feel like this is going to be too good not to show. And I haven't gotten this apart yet, but I think I have an idea of what we're going to be looking at here. That is what's left of a pad. That piston is in pieces. All right, well, I got a new piston from the dealer, a new set of brakes. We're gonna do pads and rotors on both sides. And I mean, by the looks of this, something seized up. Bottom slider's a little sticky. But yeah, the inside of that rotor is shot. So we got to get that caliper bracket out of the way. Got to get this rotor off, deal with these silly little locks that help retain the rotor on. And yeah, we're gonna get that caliper changed out, change out the pads and rotors on both sides, and get them back down the road. Let me tell you, there's always a fight with these GMs, because I've done a lot of these GMs. These caliper bracket bolts from factory are Loctited in, and man, are they ever tight. They take quite a bit of persuasion. And of course, the parking brake shoes are catching on the lip on the inside of the rotor. I'd hope, because it's a 2024, that that wouldn't be an issue yet, but turns out it is. So I gotta look up how to get this thing into service mode and get it taken apart. Well, after a bunch of research, it would appear as though after like 2021 or 2022, they made it so it's like maybe not dealer only, but you need like a scan tool to get it to wind back in. So on some vehicles with electronic parking brake, you can pull a motor and wind it in manually. Turns out a M8 triple square fits in there. That did not work. It just wouldn't wind back in. So we just kind of wiggled the rotor back and forth, put a bit of pressure on it with a couple bolts through the threaded holes in the hub. Just worked it back and forth, probably for about 20 minutes, and then finally it slid past the shoes. So shoes stayed in place. We're all good there. Caliper, only place it's open on weekends local, which is where I have my account as Part Source. They had no listing for this guy, so the local GM dealer had it. So of course it was much more money, but it's nice and shiny, and it's a caliper that has both pistons in one piece and inside of it. So beggars can't be choosers on a weekend. All right, well, I forgot I was doing the whole filming thing, and of course you can't tell now. Oh, you kind of can. So new rotors on, cleaned up the caliper bracket, put new clips in there, new pads in, new caliper. Now we're gonna go do the pads and rotor on the other side, and the customer should be along before too long to do some brake bleeding, and then we'll see if, I'm hoping he has an airlock to ABS module, or the valves rather, if he's done that, then I'm not of much use. I don't have the scan tool to open them all up and do all the fancy stuff to get them open and get it bled through. So it'll have to go to a shop, but hopefully we can get it at least driving for him. And if it's driving, then he can get that taken care of next week when shops are open. All right, this side, not as bad. Of course, you got the pad wear sensor on the driver's side to deal with. They can be pretty tough when they've never been out before to get out of the female end of the connector that they're in, or the male end, depending on how you look at that. So now we got to clean up that caliper bracket, put some new sliders in it, and put it back together. Rotor's on, caliper bracket all cleaned up, new clips, new pads, push the caliper back, got the new sensor in there plugged in. So I'm going to throw this wheel on, fill up some brake fluid, and the customer should be here shortly. He'll help me bleed the brakes, and fingers crossed that that's it. All right, so I didn't film an ending to that one. The customer showed up, we got her all bled out, and it's ready to go back to work. So now we're moving on to the next